I'd like to thank you for inviting me here. It's been many, many years since I've been in these parts of Illinois. I try to get back and see friends when I go to the larger cities. But I was going to sit down and write out a speech and try to figure out how I was going to use a few minutes to say what I've been doing. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to try to thank a lot of people here who made it possible for me to be where I'm at today in Judo, and maybe have even impacted a lot of young people's lives on the way. In the last 10 or 12 years, I've been able to still be active enough to take kids to Japan a couple of times. 25 kids a few years ago, 15 a year after that. And had the opportunity to take and train a lot of good young people over the course of when my kids were growing up down in Belleville. I owe Quentin a great debt of gratitude from when I was at Chanute. I want to tell you a story. We had a judo tournament that I was going to have at Chanute Air Force Base. And I didn't know any better. It was like in February. And of course it was snowing and wind and minus 10 or something like that. And Bill had brought a few people, and you know, and you have to watch out for the safety of your folks, so you bring a few. But Quentin pulled up that day with a bus. 50 kids poured out of that bus. And so when I had the opportunity, when I came back to Scott Air Force Base to retire there from the military, from the Air Force, I decided at that point I would go help Quentin for a number of years. I owed him real big, and so I raised my kids at Belleville Judo Club. And I was hoping I'd see him here and be able to thank him personally. But he knows that because I do see him from time to time. I'd like to take time to thank Bill. Bill, when I first started, you have to remember I came out of Southern California into the military, started this club. There was a master sergeant named Tony Wickramascara who had the program at Chanute Judo Club. He was one of the SAC trainees like Phil. And he asked me to run that club because he was retiring from the service. And I had no idea how to run a club, teach, or I thought I didn't, how to teach anybody. So we just opened a club for a bunch of young kids, and I was very fortunate to have in my first group of kids a young girl named Tammy Hostetler who came in, who later became a very well-renowned player. Also my sister-in-law. I also had another young girl walk in about 6 or 8 months later named Elaine Meyer. And she had no clue. I remember having to always get on her case because she couldn't tie her belt. She ties her belt very well now, so I don't have to worry about that. But when I was doing that, I still have this letter I have in a frame at home that I asked Bill for a recommendation because there were some people up in the AFJ or USJ at the time who thought that I should be promoted, and they needed a recommendation, and Bill wrote me this letter. I still have it. It's dated in March of 1973, and I want to thank him for that letter. By March of 1973, after I'd been there for a year and a half, he had done the research. We had 19 junior national medalists in 18 months, 2 years in our first 2 programs. And so I thought we had done pretty well. I still didn't think that I knew anything about teaching anybody about judo. I just thought I was doing the same things that I was trying to copy my dad and my sensei from the old club I was in Southern California. I figured if I could try to imitate them, I I would be okay. As I grew older, I found out that that's not really a bad recipe for your young people. If you just imitate these people that have a great impact on your life, like Bill, Sensei Orbit, like Mr. Thompson. These are the people that will put you on the right path and give you an opportunity to succeed if you'll just grab a hold of it and take it. And then along the way, you build the friends that you have, like we have today. I remember competing with TR. I saw TR there and I said, yeah. For a minute there, I thought, yeah, that's Bill. I'm getting old. I said, that's Bill. And I said, no, that can't be Bill, because one thing I know about Bill is that mustache, he would never cut it. He would never cut that. He used to laugh about it. Some of the kids in our club used to laugh about it. Say, does Sensei Max see how does he eat? And coming from the military base, everybody, has real close cut hair and everything. I said, that would just get in the way. You got to hold it while you eat. They would always kid me about that, but there were some good stories. I wish my sister-in-law would have been able to make it. We were trying to get her here. Unfortunately, she could not. Her parents had actually sent her plane tickets to go visit them. And so she went to do that, and that's very important. But she did, I know she talked to Vicki this year. She's looking very good, and she wanted it for me to convey to you, to let you know that she remembers all those days. She remembers the days of coming over and training, getting ready after she became somebody in Judo. We had the good fortune of having Bill and Bill here, who provided a lot of extra additional training for her to be successful. And because of their help in helping me, a lot of people today where I work where I help teach in Texas, they kind of think that I know a lot about what I'm doing in helping kids and teaching Judo, but I don't think they've been able to hear the whole story. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew, and that you got the things personally from me, that you are the reason why this story exists today. Thank you.